Okay, MP Barrett asked this question. Did any of your people speak to we? She didn't answer. Watch this.
Mr. Barrett, the floor is yours.
Minister, is there a competitive process used in awarding contribution agreements?
I'll refer to my deputy.
Ms. Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So there are different mechanisms to actually award a contribution agreement. The first one would be a call for proposals. However, we determined at the time that a call for proposals, open call, would take about 2 to 3 months at minimum to actually get something in place. We could have done a limited call for proposals, which would have probably taken
Mr. Chair, I'll reclaim my time there.
I'm going to, I think that's a very substantive answer, Mr. Barrett. I'll not take time away from you, but I think we need to hear the answer. Go ahead, Ms. Wilson.
I was just wrapping up with that. So an actual call for proposals would take several months to move forward with, and we needed to get this program off the ground very quickly because at the time of the pandemic and the severity of the pandemic, students were graduating. Thank you.
Back to Mr. Barrett.
Okay, so there was no competitive process used in this place, though there was one that was available. I want to confirm, Minister Chagger, are you the minister responsible for this program?
Madam Minister.
Yes, I am the minister responsible for the program, and that's why the recommendation that the public service made to myself after a lot of rigor and discussion and questions and answers.
Is Ms. Wernick with your ministry, Minister?
Ms. Wernick is with ESDC.
Why didn't the ESDC minister introduce this proposal to cabinet then?
As the Minister of Diversity and Inclusion and Youth, my responsibilities actually are part of multiple departments, and this is part of the responsibilities that I have been given.
Which department was responsible for developing this program then?
Madam Minister.
What's that branch? ESDC.
I'm not sure. Okay.
I'm just going to get you the name. Skills and Employment Branch of ESDC.
Okay. Who was working on the background and resources to implement this program?
I understand that Ms. Wernick will be appearing after myself, and she would be able to provide a more substantial answer.
Okay. Was it written on the memorandum that only We Charity could deliver this program?
It was a recommendation that was provided to me in writing. After a lot of rigor and discussion, I accepted the recommendation. Yes, it was provided to me in writing.
The question was it only We Charity that was recommended?
When the public service made a recommendation to myself, yes, it was the organization that was recommended.
Were you given any options as to how this program could be administered or which organizations could administer it? Options?
I asked numerous questions for options, and after the public service did their due diligence, it was a recommendation that We Charity was the organization, the only organization that could deliver the program in the timeline needed to the scale that we desired.
How was the decision to award We Charity to implement this program taken if no other organizations were presented as options?
Mr. Chair, I think it's also important to acknowledge that we are in an unprecedented and challenging time with the pandemic. We know that all countries are facing challenges. It's something we've never had to address, including the public service. The public service, I'm confident, did their due diligence, made a recommendation. I accepted their recommendation.
Did you discuss awarding this program to
Mr. Barrett?
Equal time, Chair?
You're getting equal time. I'm watching the time very close, but it makes it a lot more difficult when members interrupt. It takes time away. I'll give you that time back while I was speaking, but go ahead, question.
Did you discuss awarding this program to We with Prime Minister Trudeau or Minister Bill Morneau?
I personally did not have those conversations. I had those conversations with departmental officials, asked her what options were available and why this recommendation was coming forward.
Back to Mr. Barrett.
Did you discuss the program with anyone at We before discussing it at Cabinet?
I did not discuss this program, the CSSG program, with anyone at We.
Did anyone in your office discuss the program with We before you discussed it at Cabinet?
So once again, Mr. Chair, we wanted students to be able to have service opportunities. We knew that not-for-profits had an increased demand for their services. It's something we turned over to the public service. The public service was able to take the vision and then make a recommendation. I'm confident they did their due diligence. They made a recommendation. I accepted the recommendation.
Last question, Mr. Barrett.
What are the names of the individuals who negotiated the termination of this agreement?
You can.
Sorry, I was just referring to my deputy as to being able to provide the member a substantial answer. They will be available on the next panel. So those are questions that Ms. Wernick and Ms. Wilson will be able to answer in the next panel.
And
Okay, thank you. Sorry, Mr. Barrett, we're at a time.
We're not sure here. But when she didn't answer the question, first she said, I did not speak to anyone at WE. Then he asked her the question, did anyone of your staff? And then she filibustered. So, of course, we don't have the real answer, and this is just an opinion. But it sounds like her staff spoke about two civil servants about WE. And she avoided the question instead of laying it out because she was answering it, and then she didn't. Again, there is more to come. This Rachel Wernick, who, as Charlie Angus says, is being thrown under the bus. Just like, remember that Michael Wernick. He got thrown under the bus, got fired, and then the SNC scandal moved on. It seems like it's like a replay. We don't know if there was relations. We don't know anything about this lady. Leave your comments down below and stay tuned.